Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I thought I'd do a video on mental health. A few days ago, I was talking to one of my good friends. I've known her for years. We met when we first started secondary school, so we was 11 years old. So I've known her for a number of years. And we was talking about Kanye West and what we've been seeing with him on social media recently. And so she was saying, oh, like he's not well, and we just know that he's not well. It's not, that's just, it's not something that's hidden. We know that. And then I sent and said to her, mental health it's serious. It's not a joke. It's not something that, you just kind of just brush under the carpet. I then turned around and said, oh, do you know that I I've had mental health condition for a number of years? And she just said, oh, no. And there was a pause and nothing else was said. And I didn't carry on the conversation. I actually turned around and said to her, okay, yeah, don't worry. Yeah, that's a conversation for another time. And when I came off the phone, I thought, why did I not say to her what it is, or even like carry on the conversation? And I thought, but that's because it's something that it isn't an easy conversation to have. It's not easy to tell somebody I've got a mental health condition. I think in the Black community, I think it's even harder because I don't know, I think when I think about it, like I remember growing up and my mum used to always say children should be seen and not heard. And that kind of just stuck with me where, okay, when we not say nothing, and as time went on, obviously I'm an adult now, but I still like, oh, let me not say anything because people are going to judge me or people are going to have negative things to say about me. So I just didn't say anything. So I think that's one of the reasons why I didn't say anything to her. I know she's not going to judge me, but again, it's still that kind of belief in my mind. And I just think, like, as I said, like in the Black community, it's something that isn't addressed. I know one of my friends, and I met her through, I was doing a counselling course, and I met her through this counselling course. And I remember her saying, oh, like, yeah, I have mental health condition. And I was like, oh, why don't you speak to like someone in your family? And she said, yeah, I did. I spoke to my mom, and my mom said, just pray about it. And I didn't laugh. I just kind of was like, oh, okay, like, but I think that's just it. Like it's just brushed under the carpet. And I'm not saying prayer isn't good. It is. I know there's dua in the Quran that is about anxiety. So, and I do say that myself but you have to be in the right frame of mind to actually want to pray to. So when you've got a mental health condition and you're at the low moods or just not feeling 100% yourself, to pray or to read any kind of religious book, whatever book it is that you read, it's 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 not going to work. It's quite hard. So I just think that communication is the key. It's hard to be like, let me tell people what I'm going through, because a lot of the times we don't even know ourselves. We don't even have a clue. As I said, when I didn't know what I had. I didn't know what condition. I didn't have a label on it. I didn't know. I just thought, oh, you're just crying every minute. What can it be? It's only when I went to the doctor and the doctor said, this is what it is. Then I was like, okay, now I understand, or now I'm aware. And so then I started to do counselling, which it was good. It was really good, to be fair. I went to this place called Let's Talk, and they that counseling session was about like learned behaviors and how I can change my behavior, which, because they are things that I've learned as time, because of the condition, because of the mental health condition. It's then, can I explain it? I think it's just, I've programmed myself to not deal with whatever it is, but the other way of just dealing, the way that I do deal with things is then I would just like block people out. And that's on anything. Like I'd block people from my phone, just don't talk to people. So now I've learned that actually, let me just try and communicate. Let me try and say how I'm feeling. Sometimes it's hard because, like I said, I don't really want to share certain things with people. I don't want to say certain things to people because I think, are they judging me? Are they looking down on me? And then I find that people would always say to me, oh, but you look so strong. You look so strong. Yes, I look strong, but in here, it's not that. And there's days when I am not 100%. And I know that that's just what is going on in the world. There is people that are unable to cope. I think I kind of thought, let me kind of seek help when obviously I've got my two kids, and when Vache was little, it was not easier, but she was a baby. There wasn't really anything to, I just stayed at home with her and just went to work when I needed to go to work and came back home with her. But obviously they're growing up now where they want to do things. They want, as a mum, for me to go out with them and to do things with them. So as older Vache got, it was when I was like, this isn't right. This isn't fair on her as my child. I needed to just kind of just fix it. Now, when I say fix it, it isn't a quick fix. Mental health isn't something that you can just say, okay, right, well, I went today to the doctor and I went to counselling today, and so now I'm fixed. I've had, like I said, I've had counselling. It was only for 6 sessions because it was on the NHS, so you only get 6 sessions. So that was over, that was finished. But then I knew that it wasn't, like I said, I wasn't fixed, if that's the word, if that's the terms I'm going to use. I wasn't fixed. I didn't feel like, oh yeah, I'm all better now. Okay, the mental health it's all cleared up. It's all finished. It's because it's not that. It's a work in process. When I went, like I said, when I went to Let's Talk counselling service, it was about like my learned behaviour. But I felt that there was more to it than that. And so then I referred myself to somewhere else. And now I've been having that counselling where it's a deep rooted problem. There's things that my counsellor says to me and I'm just like, oh, okay. I didn't even think about that. Like, she says things like, like you have like issues with like authority with men. And I'm thinking, oh yeah. And I was just like, what is, and that's just like me saying 2 little things to her. And she's like, yeah, you've got like a problem with men giving you authority. And I've never really thought about it. And I know where that comes from. I know where it stems from. But to actually just it being, for me to be aware of it and to actually fix it is a big thing. So I think the point I'm trying to make is like, if you are going through any kind of mental health condition, your first, so if anybody out there is going through any kind of mental health condition, I think your first point of call is to go and seek medical help. Go to your doctors. I know it's hard to actually just even find the strength to just get up and go, and that in itself is a big thing. But once you've done the first steps, then you're amazing. If you've done the first steps of getting up and going to your doctor and speaking to your doctor, well done, because that in itself is a big thing. To actually acknowledge that something isn't right is amazing, and not many people can do that. So I think once you've done that, you'll feel better within yourself. The doctor will be able to advise you. Doctors may say, take this medication for a little bit. It will help you, make you feel better. And it may actually help. It may make you feel 10 times better. But I just think there's an underlying rooted problem. So I'd always say, go ask your doctor to refer you to counselling, speak to somebody. And even if you don't want to go to your doctor, speak to, maybe, as I said, I should have spoke to my friend. I could have spoken to my friend, but I let it go on for years, because it's been years that I've had a mental health condition. It's not something that just happened last week. It is years. And my communication, or to even explain to anybody how I was feeling, and I'd never do that. So if there is somebody that you can just talk to, then I just think speak to that person. Just try and remember that they're not judging you. It's actually in here that you think it's judgment. They're not judging you. They're your friends. It's your family. It has to be somebody that you're comfortable with. I'm not just saying just come start talking and telling everybody all what's going on in your life. It has to be somebody that is comfortable and understand that you're comfortable talking to. And people know as well. People do actually know. They might not know 100%, but they kind of know. And the people that are close to you will know your behavior. Last week I wasn't feeling myself, and I actually didn't say anything to anybody. My daughter just knew. She got up, she made sure Kaveh had done everything, and I didn't say a word. But they know like my behavior is not my normal behavior. And even her dad, as much as he doesn't live with us, he even sent her a message and said like, your mum's not 100, doesn't seem herself, so he's just gonna give me my space. And he didn't actually do anything, but I'm glad that he was aware that something wasn't right. It was a bit, I was glad, but then I was thinking he should have again come and talk to me, and then I can explain it to you. I did in the end, but it's just to get to that place of being able to say something. So I just think you just got to be able to communicate. Communication is the key. You've got to be able to say something to somebody, to anybody, and people will listen. They will listen, and they will try and help. I found that myself, where before I wouldn't say anything, and I'm just like, if I do actually, there's people that I say things to. Like I've got a particular friend, and I would say things to her, and she listens, she understands, and even if she doesn't understand, she tries to understand. That's a big thing as well, because you know she doesn't have mental health condition, so she's just kind of got to see things from my point of view, which she does, and I appreciate her for that. So I just want to say, especially to like single mums out there, it's hard for us. It's hard to just keep going every day, day in, day out, without being, we're tired. We are tired, and there isn't anybody to give that support, give us that support, or to take some of the pressure off. So it is hard. It is very hard, and I understand. And I just want to say, and as mums, we are gifted with an inner strength. We can find the inner strength to just overcome any challenges. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you like this video. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe.